back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the LiuLi Cup Weekly number 7. Your weekly dose of LiuLi Cup action. I'm of course Joseph VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to the first series of the broadcast. Exclamation mark and B in the chat. Have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and oh, I can hear myself. There we go. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we are jumping into the round of 16. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Magnatha, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. It is YoungYakov. Whew, here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, on who you think will advance on. Oh. Gamba? Where is the Gamba? I'll try to fix it up. I'll try to get that going. But we got, as it looks like we're having some connectivity issues. Hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully you guys can hear us. We'll keep an eye on our connectivity. So now we're getting to our openers. So far we do have our own gate expand. Standard open out to Shameless, likewise YoungYakov going hatch gas pool. Try again. Close last bets. Oh, is the last one still open? Maybe. Maybe. As now we are going to be getting to our initial setup. So far everything's looking normal, and welcome once again to Magnatha. Magnatha is one of the larger maps in the map pool, and I'm really excited to see how Shameless and YoungYakov compare. In my eyes, they are actually quite close in skill, both Shameless and YoungYakov, and we'll see who can come out on top here. Of course, YoungYakov, when he went on a tear last night, if you were here for Tuna Cup, you would know who did YoungYakov beat. He beat Wayne, he beat Björn, he beat Wayne, Björn, and Geralt, and he went all the way to the ace match against Nightmare. Like YoungYakov, he had a crazy performance last night, taking down big names, and we'll see if we can do it again. We'll see if he can go on another insane run. He did not win the tournament, he barely did go down to Nightmare, but I do recommend the VODs. I do recommend checking out YoungYakov's performance. It was very impressive, and we'll see if he can impress us, if he can impress once again. We'll see. Now, what I will say specifically regarding YoungYakov's ZVP, we do expect all-ins. We expect all-ins, we expect aggression. He did almost purely all-ins against Geralt and against Nightmare, so we're expecting him to go along those lines here as well. We'll keep an eye on the drone count. So far, YoungYakov just getting his third base, just opening up hatch gas pool. He is droning, he is saturating, but what we're expecting is 3 base saturation and 3 base all-ins. Is what we're expecting. Also, if you're in the chat, yes, predictions are now open, so you can place your bets, you can place them. It's all good. Get your Gamba going while you can, As for now, we do have our initial Oracle opener. Shameless, we expect standard play. We expect Stargate into a third base, into Oracle, into +1 Uplink Stalkers, is kind of the go-to here for Shameless. We don't really expect him to deviate too much. Really, we're keeping our eyes open and on YoungYakov. Eyes are on our Zerg player. Oracle making its way towards the main. Shameless cells rotate around. So back does rotate. We built up to 2 oracles. We can of course one-shot workers. So we do dip in. Oh. Dipping into the third, getting 1, 2, oh. 3 drones, 4 drone kills even. Oh my god. Ooh, not quite worth it though. 4 drones, but the Oracle does go down. A massive pickoff. Better defense here from YoungYakov. The Lings, they move out across the map, but 3 adepts should be enough. Should be enough to defend. Prone to being surrounded, but with the shade, Shameless will get away. Just shade safely into the mineral line. YoungYakov, these Lings didn't really get much done. So there's a bit of a give and take here as the Oracle does get one more drone kill. Ooh, and once again takes a lot of hull damage. A lot of DPS here on that Oracle, does barely get away. +1 melee is in production, and YoungYakov should be going into Ling Hydra. We'll keep an eye on our Zerg player here, but we're expecting a... They're there. Okay, there we go. Lair is now on the way, so we're getting into our lair, and we should be going into Ling Hydra as a setup here. Should be the go-to for YoungYakov. And we'll see if he commits on 3 bases. We'll see if he drones up his 4. We'll see if he feels confident droning up. Adepse through in the shade. Ooh, Lings, they keep up, but there's not enough Lings. Yeah, Adepse will take the fight. They shut down the Lings, they bust into the mineral line, and Shameless is getting damage done. Getting 1, 2, soon to be 3 drone kills shading into the main base. Again, the Lings for defense are brutal here, as Adepse trades so well against them. And nice positioning behind the mineral line. Shameless trading as efficiently as possible. Got 4 drones in total. Oracles are moving in. Shades into the natural. Gets 1 more drone. Gets 5. And the Oracles are moving out. And from here, YoungYakov falls behind. He's taken too much economic damage. Now, I assumed he was going to be going Ling Hydra, but no, my apologies. I did miss this, the Roach one. Did go into Roaches. Roach speed has begun. And after taking all those losses, YoungYakov, he might not re-drone. You can see here, he's actually undersaturated, but never mind. He throws down a Visage bit. He's taking up. He is going into a longer game. He's investing quite heavily into all these Zerglings, but YoungYakov doesn't tend to recover and macro out of this. Right now the pressure is on YoungYakov. Blink is not done. Ooh, yeah, no blink. Lings are gonna surround. Very nice catch. Getting 1, 2, 3 Stalkers. Can we get 4? That's 3 Stalkers going down. Looks like a 4th Stalker will fall. We'll get a 5th. And where are the Oracles? The Oracles are taking their time. Yeah, they were out of position. Another Stalker kill. And Yakov, he's able to trade very nicely here. Trading up minerals for gas. Does trade well. Didn't get the expansion. That would have been the ideal, is the Stalkers and the base as well. But does at least get some damage, and behind this, Hive is on the way. Now the question becomes, what are we doing with this Hive? Well, we do have melee upgrades, and we have seen YoungYakov be quite fond of going into ultras in this matchup in ZVP. My concern here is that typically to get into ultras, you do need a really good economy. You need a solid economy to be able to afford that ultra tech and to be able to get into those upgrades, as it's very upgrade intensive, getting into Skyhands plating, getting into ultra speed. So we'll see if YoungYakov does head in that direction. I'm leaning towards ultras here, but again, YoungYakov still has a ways to go. Oracles are zoned away. Storm is done. Shameless taking up in towards Skytoss. Fleet Beacon's on the way. Shameless going to be turtling up and embracing that late game. Meanwhile, Hive is still not yet done. Yakov, he's prioritizing his gases. Solid call. Again, he does need those gases. And there it is, Ultra Cannon. As we mentioned before, +1/+2 melee was indicative of Ultras, not just that, but also just the playstyle of YoungYakov. He does really enjoy Ultra Tech in ZVP. This is a way to kind of brute force your way into bases, onto High Templar, and to just break expansions. But as we were alluding to, it's quite intensive resource-wise. Ultras, they're not cheap. They're So again, gases were prioritized. Yakov is on 88 workers. And it's going to be on YoungYakov to break one of these bases. It's going to be on Shameless to defend, to survive. So again, Shameless just turtling up. Turtling up as best he can. And as you can see here, there are multiple attack paths. You can poke in towards the left, towards the top side. There are 2 entrances, towards the center, another entrance as well. So Shameless here to defend these 3 locations. Ultras are on the way. Spire likewise gets thrown down for YoungYakov. So let's go for the Spire. Shameless now taking a fresh base. This is actually a really crucial moment. Shameless on 4 bases can max out. On 5 bases, he can build a bank, as Shameless is maxed. And Yakov, I mean, that's one of the things about Magnatha here is that this center base is a little bit more defendable. It's on the high ground. Yakov, he has to fight for it. He cannot just let it get up and running. Oh, gets High Templar. Comes in for the surround. Does catch 1 Templar. Gets an Immortal as well. But he's going to try to keep chasing. Storms hopping up. We tank the Storms. Ultras are not quite able to close that distance though, but he will go on top of the expansion. Yeah, the fifth base should go down. It's going to be quite expensive though, as Ultras are falling. Losing 1, losing 2. Yeah, the Ultras are a little bit trapped. And most of the Ultras will go down. Yeah, you can see YoungYakov plummet in supply there. So, on the one hand, yes, killed an expansion. On the other hand, the bank isn't really there for YoungYakov, and that might just be game, to be honest. that fight might just have been game. As now Shameless can counterattack. This base is just so close, so this expansion will fall. And YoungYakov needs time. And we spoke about it earlier, how expensive Ultras are and how expensive this army is. And you can see YoungYakov, he can't max out. Like, he just cannot max. He's not quite there yet. Trying to go for a desperation counterattack. He will catch reinforcements. Nice surround of the Immortals. And Shameless doesn't stop. Yeah, he should. Shameless, he should not stop. He's going to keep on pushing. He's going to keep on going. So things are cleaned up. Shameless pulls away. He defends his center base. And again, YoungYakov, he is hurting here. Now he is getting into his corruptors. Bearing in mind these are 0-0 corruptors, so the upgrades are not there. Resources are lacking here for Yakov, as he has yet to take any additional gases. Or the replacement gases, I should say. Now, Yakov does have a chance, he does have an opportunity once he gets into his infestors. We have 3 infestors in production, and once we can build up a high enough infestor count, then there's going to be some more counterplay available. But until then, Shameless is in the driver's seat. He's in the driver's seat. What is Shameless lacking here? So he has too many Stalkers, I would say. That's a lot of Blink Stalkers. Ideally, you want to shave off some of these Stalkers and replace them with Archons and more Immortals. How many Immortals are there? So far, 5, soon to be 6 Immortals. We could do with more, and likewise, we can do with more Archons as well. Stalkers are very mobile. That's their advantage. But in a head-on fight, we can do better. Recalls back home. High Templar, they're left exposed, but YoungYakov doesn't know. He's unaware. High Templar have to get the hell out of there. We'll pull away. They got left behind, Pappy. They got left behind. Uh-oh. And can we get the High Templar? Again, they're on their own. Templar on their own. Lings, they trickle in. Shameless takes down 1 base. And the Templar, they get away. Yeah, the Templar, they get away. They do escape. Oh, can he get the expansion? Ooh, barely can. Denies the recall. Recall is denied, but the army has arrived. Won't save the base, but tossing away those Ultras. That's going to be 14 dead workers. And not bad here from YoungYakov. Kills the base, kills the mineral line. And behind this, 5 more infestors. I believe that's 10? Yeah, 10 infestors. So Yakov, he's almost there. Yakov is almost at the higher infestor count. He already has research neural. We're getting into lurker tech. Oh, it's just a little bit awkward tech-wise here to transition out, especially without range upgrades. But he's making his way towards lurkers. How can he engage? He's going to be quite heavily reliant here on neuraling the Immortals, I feel. And potentially neuraling the Tempest as well. Tempest, they shouldn't be within range of Neural, though. They should be able to kite away. Oh. Flanking Templar.
Your probes are taking a beating.
Oh, potentially miss rally. Yeah, it does miss rally. Templar goes down. Some awkward pathing for Shameless. Does get an Oracle, I believe. Yeah, Oracle goes down. Yo, can we neural one of the High Templar? Neurals the Tempest. Yeah, neurals on the Mass Tempest, on some of the Archons as well. Ultras are pushing through, and Yakov, he will take this fight. He barely does take it, does chase down. Tempest have to get the hell out of here. Nice neurals. Oh, they're running out though. Uh-oh. Yeah, neurals are starting to run out. Has to be careful. There we go. The Immortals do fall. And a very messy fight here. In the end, Tempest is survived. We do see Shameless going out for a massive counterattack. Takes down a base. Neurals another Archon. And Yakov, like, the fight wasn't too bad. The problem, though, here is the Remax. His bases are still falling. Shameless still has a bank. And Yakov, we got to rebuild something. Do we not have larva? Oh, no injections. No injections here, so his larva is limited. Bappy, do we not have queens? Where are they? Oh, the queens, what's going on? we have to inject. We have no larva. So YoungYakov, he can't actually remax. We have to inject, Bappy. Lings, they do get the expansion. Okay. Go base goes down. But larva is an issue right now. The queens are here to transfuse. I mean, that is a lot of transfuse energy. Ultra's moving in. This is again mainly a Stalker army. We spoke about it earlier, but Stalkers they don't really scale this well into this kind of game state. And how many Immortals are left? Okay, 6. They're not all here. Ooh, the Immortals are left behind. Shameless! F2, Bappy. We gotta keep up the Immortals. We need them on the front lines. There we go. Mules are coming in. As the Immortals are gonna be flanking the army. GG gets called. The army gets flanked. And Yakov has nothing left. And Shameless, he will take game at number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very intense couple of moments towards the end of the game. Yakov, he was able to take some nice fights, but in the end, he had no economy. He had no larva to work with either. So trying to replace that army was a difficult task there for YoungYakov. In the end, Shameless did persevere. GG. Got his 5th base up and running, built up a massive bank, and was able to take those trades, take those fights, and overall. Congratulations. Shameless still taking lead in the series, and now we're getting to game number 2, and we'll see if Shameless can close it out here and now. We'll see if YoungYakov can fight back and force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. F2, Bappy. Yes, the discipline from Shameless was hurting him, Bappy. Was hurting him. He had a bunch of supply just chilling off to the side. Too much discipline. Here we go. So we're getting ready for that second game. Otherwise, hope you're all enjoying yourselves. Hope you've had a great week so far. Again, we're halfway through. There's still a lot of StarCraft on the horizon, as always, as well. True. Tomorrow, of course, is going to be the Podcast. We have MSO on Friday. We have Maestros, the game of the weekend. That's going to be the big event, of course. Maestros, the big event happening in France. The offline event. I do apologize for not being able to cover PvZ Cup this morning. Unfortunately, we weren't able to. Unfortunately, I was just unavailable to cover it live. But we should be covering it via replays over the weekend. Should be able to do a replay cast. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, baby. Meanwhile, it looks like it's taking a moment for our players to get ready, so we can maybe take this moment to have a look at the bracket itself. When it comes to the bracket itself, it is a bit of a leaner bracket here tonight. We're missing some of the big regulars. If you saw, Hero was signed up, didn't check in. Clem signed up, didn't check in either. We're used to seeing like the big names here when it comes to the upper echelons of players that compete in online tournaments. Max, Hero, Clem, right? Like they are the three players that always win these online weeklies. But here there's no Hero and there's no Clem. So Max, he stands as the #1 seed. He is the #1 seed. That's why he's at the very top. And it's going to be up to everyone else to try to stop him. I'm going to say that coming into this tournament, Max is the heavy favorite. His typical, the typical contenders or the people that typically bring him down aren't here in Hero and Clem. We do still have some other big names, of course. Classic is here, Cure as well, Creator, Björn. Yeah, I will still pin Max as the favorite player. I can definitely see Classic posing a threat to Max. I do think that Classic is probably the biggest threat, and it makes sense. He's a #2 seed. That's why he's in the second half. So Classic is #2 seed of the tournament. And we'll see if we can stop that PvP finals between Max and Classic. Best of luck to everyone else. We of course are still mid-series with Shameless and YoungYakov. We have Björn versus LiuLi in the first round. We have Creator and Triple. We have Classic just takes down Hacker's top. Percival just took down Gref. Cure just took down Ragnar, and Mana just took down Art. So the tournament is progressing. This is also why we dove on Shameless versus YoungYakov in the first round. One, it's a really high profile matchup in the first round, but two, YoungYakov, he's the only Zerg player. He's so we gotta cast the Zerg players while we can, Papi, while we can. So the lone Zerg here in the bracket feels bad, man, feels bad. So we'll be covering YoungYakov for as long as we can, and then eventually we'll get into all the PvPs and PvTs. We'll get there, The lone Zerg. So lonely, Papi, so lonely. Best of luck. As hopefully everything's okay in regards to game 2. Okay. Looks like our players need a couple of minutes here, a couple of moments. So all good. We're more than happy to wait. So we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we will have the remainder of the series. Again, the players, something came up and they do need a moment. So more than happy to wait. 5 minutes. 5 minutes here. We'll be back with Shameless and YoungYakov. See you soon after the break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I do apologize for the extended break. Something did come up. The players were unavailable, but now we are back. Now we are here to continue the series as we are mid-series in our first series of the broadcast. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself. It is YoungYakov. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Here we go again. Shameless, he is of course leading the series 1-0. Shameless, he was able to incorporate and embrace the late game on Magnatha, get up to 5 bases. We saw YoungYakov attempt to stop him. Yakov, he did go into Mass Ultra. He was able to knock down some expansions, but YoungYakov himself did not have the best economy. So even though he was knocking down bases at a cost of 4, 5, 6 soldiers at a time, he couldn't afford it. He couldn't quite afford it. It was some brutal trades, and in the end, YoungYakov, he kind of tired himself out, if you will. He just ran out of resources himself. On top of that, Shameless was also knocking down bases when it came to his main Skytel's pushes, and in the end, Shameless did outlast YoungYakov. And now we're getting into game number 2. Now, after seeing game 1, I would expect to see YoungYakov be more aggressive. If you recall, I did mention at the start of the series that we expected YoungYakov to go for all-ins, to go for 3-base all-in after 3-base all-in. But alas, we saw that he did have a more macro approach, even despite taking some economic losses to the Adepts and to the Oracles. So we'll see if he does adjust that here, or if once again we go into the late game. Now, bearing in mind we are on Incorporeal. Incorporeal is one of the larger maps. Likewise, it is known for more defensive play from Protoss players, defending on 4 bases, getting a 5th expansion, and getting into a longer and later game. We expect to see the same style out of Shameless, to be more defensive and to get into Skytoss. From YoungYakov, does he try to break him early, or does he also embrace the late game as well? So my eyes are mainly going to be on YoungYakov to see where he takes us. Otherwise, we're settling in. We have our initial openers, hatch, gas, pool. Everything's looking normal so far. Likewise, we do have link speed on the way, pulls out of gas, soon to be taking a third base. Again, everything's just looking normal from our Zerg player. On the side of Shameless, let's go for a Stargate opener out of our Protoss player into a third base, in towards most likely +1 and blink. We'll keep an eye on the Twilight Council timing. If it gets thrown down earlier than normal, then you can go for an earlier blink timing to break the fourth base, or we could even see Glaive Adepts as well out of Shameless, depending on the timing of that Twilight Council. So we'll see what he gets into. Likewise, this may not even be Oracle. We could go for a Phoenix opener. We could go for a Void Ray opener. Oracles are standard. They are what we expect, but we could always deviate. As so far, it is indeed going to be the Oracle. So Oracle's on the way. Oracles in production. Throwing in extra gateways. From here, we should soon be expanding. I will say there is an earlier third gateway though at a Shameless. Interesting. Usually you'd go up to 2 gateways, then take the expansion. But here the base is going to be a little bit delayed here in favor of the extra gateway. What does this mean? This does mean that Shameless will have extra adepts. He's going to have extra adepts, vanilla adepts, might I add. I believe this should not be glaives or anything like that, but extra vanilla adepts here to get damage done across the map. It means that if YoungYakov does delay and does skip a link production, then he will be punished. So if I one drone, just the one. Oracle is pulled away. Lings they poke in. And YoungYakov, he does not scout to the third gateway. So no scout into the main. Twilight Council gets thrown down. That is... I was going to say slightly earlier, but remember, it was a delayed expansion here, so... I would say more or less a relatively standard Twilight Council timing. But I don't see a forge. Oh, that's your Oracle gets very low. Lack of forge. Never mind. I was gonna say lack of forge is indicative of something like Glaive Adepts, but forge gets thrown down, so we are expecting blink. Potentially charge, potentially. Twilight Council is done. We spoke about the extra gateways. Remember, extra third gateway means this. It means a much more committed move out with vanilla adepts. And how many lings? 7. Ooh, 7 lings, and YoungYakov is droning. This is going to catch him off guard. Again, you do not expect this many adepts unless there was a third gateway, which YoungYakov never scouted. And here come the adepts. They're going to be shading in. They have a lot of potential. Queens are trying to keep up. Shades, we do shade in between the bases. Making way into the main. Ooh, attempted stasis traps are going to be denied. Or attempted support from the Oracles. Adepts say trade well against the Zerglings, cancels a shade, takes care of all the lings, pushing to the middle line. 1, 2 drone kills, 3, 4. 4 drones going down, we gotta count. Getting up to 4 workers. Does cancel the shade, takes down the spore. That does mean the Oracles have more access to the main. And this is worth it. Like, so far, this is brutal damage. 5 drone kills, kills the spore, denies mining in the main base for a very long time, shades into the natural, and finally gonna be cleaned up. Finally, this is cleaned up. But remember, it's not like this was an all-in. This wasn't committed. This was only a third gateway, and now we follow that into +1 of Blink Stalker into the mid-game. We do see that YoungYakov was forced to make all these lings. You can see in the worker tab, we do see YoungYakov down in workers, so economically he's behind. He's behind that of the Protoss. Shameless is in a better position. These lings have potential, but it's a shield battery, and Shameless he defends. Shameless he defends well, he deflects. Shameless takes the lead. So stronger start here from our blue Protoss. And again, unfortunately, YoungYakov, he just didn't really know what was going on. He didn't see the move out. You can do one of two things. Either you scout the extra gateways, or you see the move out. But remember, there was no scouting Overlord here on the right-hand side. There was no scouting Zergling either. So just a very late reaction, very late realization, and Yakov falls behind. And what do we go for? Roach Warren and Spire. Ooh, okay. So Spire should be for Muta play. We're going to be taking up into Mutas. Queen gets called out. We were out in the middle of nowhere. Queen goes down. And if this goes unscouted, this is a way to bring it back. Yakov, he can pop off, he can get across the map, he can deal critical damage. Shameless checking his vision, he has yet to confirm. Now, Shameless did open Blink, so he does have some anti-air ready. Ooh, we do get a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay. But the oracles, they're about to scout, by the way. They're about to go into the main base and they're about to see the spire. So this is a critical moment for Shameless. He's about to confirm what's going on. And YoungYakov, if he does get scouted, I mean, this is meant to be a surprise. It's not going to be. Yeah, the oracles, they back in and they confirm. There we go. Big scout here. Does get eyes on the spire. Shameless knows. Shameless knows, YoungYakov, he knows that he knows as well. Bear that in mind. We do have Overlord Speed on the way. If you remember, Overlord Speed is indicative of drop lord play of an all-in. So YoungYakov, I say all-in, he did join up to 83, but he's not taking up into Hive. So no Infestation Bit, no Hydrogen, no Hive Tech, purely a Lair Tech all-in. Let's go, let's send it! We have Lings, we have Roaches, and we should be seeing potentially Queens carried across the map as well. As Yakov, he's committed. Station Trap is denied, but the Stalkers, they trade well. They're the Drop Lords. Again, as I mentioned, this should be for the Queens. So one way or the other, either YoungYakov kills Shameless or he dies trying, as he is all in. Yeah, here come the Queens. They're going to be loading up. The German taxi has arrived. It's all or nothing. Back in what's an offensive setup. We have a wall of cannons, wall of shield batteries. Ooh, the third base, the linear third base is more exposed. The triangular third, though, we're fortifying. We're getting ready. So Shameless is turtling up. Mutas into the main, causing a distraction.
Base under assault.
Phoenix production has begun. Wilds, they do not connect, but the army's going to be zoned away. Yeah, Shameless out of position. Side defense is going down. Storm's not quite connecting, not yet. And Shameless, can he save the expansion? As he's being held up. Boys, they get pulled away, they're going to be saved. Stalkers are moving in. Storm lands. And we have, what, 3, 4 more? Yeah, we have a lot of storms. We have plenty of storms. Shameless, he will clean this up. He will shut this down. Storms are connecting. Zealots are warping in. The probes survive. The base itself may go down. It's going to be close. Can he get it? He can. Just barely one more volley, but was it worth it because we will lose everything? Yakov, he throws away the entire army to kill the Nexus. And the army's still standing. Like, there's still plenty of Stalkers. How many High Templar remaining? One Templar left. If there was, say, 3 or 4 Templar, then we could just counterattack. But Shameless, he has to back up, he has to build up, he has to re-expand. And Yakov, he can get ready for a second wave, this time with +1. Remember, the upgrades are lacking. The reason why the upgrades are so delayed here and why there's no upgrades and why there's no follow-up is, remember, YoungYakov was all in. Now he throws down, what is this, a 10-minute Infestation Bit. 10-minute Infestation Bit, 10-minute +1. 10-minute +1 air attack as well. Like, again, just really, really delayed upgrades. As the game progresses, it's getting better and better for Shameless. Shameless didn't die. Remember, that was meant to kill, and because it didn't kill Shameless, Shameless is outscaling his opponent. What do we have for Shameless? +3. +3 is on the way, while we're still getting +1 from the Zerg player, from YoungYakov. That shows how far behind Yakov is. Now, these mutas have potential, true. Do we have any Phoenixes? 2. Mutas make their way into the main. They get a couple of probe kills. So the Phoenix gets 1. Phoenix goes down. Oof, that's still a lot of mutas going down there. Yeah, a lot of mutas going to be falling. And Yakov is trying to switch into Hydra tech. Oof. Again, it's a very expensive and a very awkward transition to get a Hydra den, to get a Lurker den, to get a Hive, to get all those upgrades. But Yakov, he's getting there. Since that is doing way more damage than it should have done. I believe that's in regard to the early Adept aggression, but again, it's because it went unscouted. It was not standard. It was not a standard opener out of Shameless. Going for the third gateway. Meanwhile, YoungYakov, as he will lose all the mutas. Yeah, not a single muta escapes. Every muta goes down. Brutal losses. An expensive loss there for YoungYakov. Stasis trap goes off, and Shameless, he's just snowballing out of control. Remember, the soup does lie. The soup does lie here. YoungYakov, he might be maxed, but he's maxed out with a subpar army. He's maxed out with Roach Hydra with 1 upgrade. With +1 range, no carapace, just +1 range, +1 melee. All the Hydras going down. Now, if YoungYakov can morph in some lurkers, then he can hold, right? Lurkers will make a difference here. We can see that the lurker hive upgrades is still on the way though, and there are 0 lurkers ready for this. Lurkers could elongate this game, but without them, Shameless should break through. Yeah, storms are coming in. Yakov, he cannot engage. He tries to snipe the High Templar, nice control there from Yakov, but he doesn't quite get it. High Templar, they pull away. Ooh, storm zones. High Templar goes down. Okay, no more storms. No storms remaining. The Zealots, they need to get onto the front lines. Their prison's going to be sniped. But Yakov, he plummets the supply. Again, as you mentioned, like, even though Yakov was maxed out, it's like, it's Roach Hydra. Like, it doesn't scale well into a game like this. Not like this. Especially after the failed all-in. From here, Shameless pushing forward, and there's not much to stop him. Yeah, not much to stop him here. Takes down the base. Takes down the fort. Carriers have arrived. Now we're getting 5 lurkers morphing in, and that can help survive on what bases we have left, but Yakov, he needs more than just survive on the bases. I see me. Where was Mixu in the brackets? Where was Mixu? Smurge, papi, smurge. Ah. But yes, YoungYakov, he is the only Zerg player left in the tournament. The Zerg hope, papi. He's the hope. Ah. Por favor. Lurkers, they get a nice volley off. At the same time, Yakov going for a massive Roach counterattack. He can maybe force a recall. And then buy more time. Yep, there it is. There's a recall. Recall's back home. +1 air attack is going to be denied. So Yakov, you see, he's hanging in there, papi. He's hanging in there. How many lurkers? We got 5 lurkers so far. We can maybe morph in another wave. Laundry time doesn't wait. Ah, no. Ah, no. Not laundry time. It's all good. Spiles, they are going to be dodged. Storm's coming in. My Kerber shot can only do so much. Only so much, Mac. But the lurkers, they're putting in a lot of work. Oh my god. The lurkers, they pop up. Lurkers trade well. The carriers, they were lagging behind, but GG gets called regardless as the carriers move in, and Shameless will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. Shameless, he will claim the series. He will advance on. My condolences to YoungYakov, as again, he did have a really strong showing last night in the Tuna Cup, but here again, Shameless did attempt to go for longer game states, or I'd say that at least in game 1, he was shut down. Here in game 2, especially after early damage, here in game 2, he had a really rocky start due to the 3-gate follow-up. He did miss all the adepts. We had, what, 6-7 adepts moving out across the map, unscouted. Yakov was not ready. He did fall behind early on, and then he turned that into a big all-in with Roach, Ling, Queen Drop, and Muta Harass as well. Really expensive kind of setup there, and in the end, he did kill the base, did kill the 4th, but it cost him everything. It cost him so much. It was a brutal trade. Got the base, but at the cost of his entire army, which was not worth it, as Shameless just outscaled from there. GG. GG, well played with that. Congratulations, Shameless, who will claim the series, and we are now getting into our next matchup. We're going to be following Shameless into the next round. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves, but here we go. We have some updates. We have Creator. Ooh, Creator takes down Beyond 2-0. Creator, he's going to be waiting for the winner of our next series, Shameless versus Max Pax. Oh, we're in the PvP portion of the bracket. Oh no. Oh no. What have we done, Babby? What have we done?